It's actually the first week of the quarter. So yeah, I did. I hit the record button. So this is weird because there's a lot of momentum carrying this right here. Off the bat, what I'm noticing, excuse me, right, final push down before move up, but there is a push down wick here, signifying to me that there is a type of disruption here, right? So normally we would love to see right, if the mitigation is clear, then order flow is essentially in the correct direction. But as you can see, there is essentially a grab here, and then there is a mitigation of the grab, signifying short-term momentum to the upside. But in my opinion, overall, this could be a disruption. Just because we're breaking the POI, and let's not forget, this wick was mitigated by here, right? And this is the move that generated bullish order flow that created, this, 6 month, not 6 month, 2-3 year consolidation, 2 year, up until, about 2 years. So order flow is being incited here to the upside. We came back, we did not mitigate, right? We went right through it. So in my opinion, this could still be considered an inefficient move in the long run, right? Because we said when the mitigations aren't perfect, right, that creates an inefficient environment, which could lead to a quote-unquote unsustainable move in the long run, right? So if we had volume, I think we would see a lot of diminishment, but unfortunately we don't. Right, and as we go to the daily, right, it's hard because realistically, if we're following order flow, right, you could say something is here, there's an interruption, as you can see, wick, 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 and then a final push up wick, right, came back here, final push up, then we have final push up, then we have a wick that pushes up before we continue lower, and that is where price is reacting right now. What's happening? What's happening? Wait. What's happening?
Someone's talking about making breakfast or something like that.
Oh, he's not muted. Wait, hold on. I can't even hear you guys. Hold on. In case anybody wants to speak.
Loki wants some breakfast though.
Alright, yeah. Cool, now we can hear it. I didn't hear what he said. Anyways, right, as we see final push up, technically, right, if you go in even further here, right, you can see liquidity grab, right, inside of that push to the downside, right, as you can see, liquidity grab, final push up here, then continuation lower. So liquidity cleared because our final unmitigated point. So if we're thinking long term, right, that would be more so a swing bias, but our final leg is still intact, right? Just off the bat, that means you have to understand that. And as you can see, we've reacted from the POI given the initial break of structure, but there's a very clear turbulence point inside of the reaccumulation that we talked about a couple of days ago. So if we're trying to make conclusions, right, this inside of the turbulence point, if we're trying to look at the mitigation points, right, whether this could be a push up down, and then remember what we talked about here in the markups. Let's actually pull that up. Let me see. Did I put that in previous markups? Where did I put those? Oh, I put them in the free channel. That's right. Cool, right here. So, if we're looking at order flow, right, spring, liquidity grab, higher high, right, then another higher high here. Then we come for a liquidity grab before we create structural range that creates bullish order flow, bullish sign of strength. So the final unmitigated spot inside of this range is there, right? So if you're trying to think if this then that, then the final unmitigated point based on this time frame is there. Right? So, because this is unmitigated, our minor intraday is still, or you can consider the major intraday and the minor intraday legs will be here, but the entire leg is still bullish, right? And this is an unmitigated point. So if you're trying to, let's say, take a scenario off a wick, with your point of validation being here, or if you even want to see, well, that would be scenario one. Scenario two would be we reach the absolute peak of volume here because this is where the quote-unquote liquidity grab happened. All right, let me make that better looking. Okay. Right? Where this would then be liquidity because this low, or this high, I'm sorry, did not create a significant low by taking that liquidity out. So if we mitigate, right, naturally the next target would be the high because this essentially, well, this high to begin with, because this high did not create a new low, and instead it mitigated something, right, meaning target one, target two, right, but you have to be aware of a potential reversal because the bearish order flow could come in play based on this time frame, on this POI, I'm sorry, right. So when creating if this then that, right, if we immediately come into a POI here, maybe if we give a proper reaction, we can generate a short-term intraday play, right? Only if we give a proper reaction from the POI, because there could also be the moment where, let me actually take all this mess out. Right, there could be the scenario where we are mitigating the essential continuation of order flow here, and we continue lower target one, right, and we break through here, creating a disruption, and you can then just play the continuation lower. So you have to play based on reaction, have to play based on data provided. So, right, if we don't do that, right, this would be the final wick here, and it could be mitigating something here, but I don't think that's very likely, right? This doesn't make a lot of sense to me when there's a POI here, but it's good to acknowledge it. There could be the scenario where you come back into here. As you can see, there's an interruption here, right? Meaning there could be a turbulence point inside, right? As you can see, yeah, interruption before continuation, right? And there even could be a inefficiency fill there, right? Even though the 50% was already mitigated there. So it could either be an inefficiency fill, SC inside of here, right? But we have to play based on reactions. That's pretty much what I'm getting at. Because you have to understand that this is, even though we're reacting from a POI, we are still bullish. We're low, high, retracement, continuation is still in play, right? But I do like that weekly closure. Right, it's a rejection, but it's not, it's still a bullish closure, meaning we are still bullish in momentum. So, considering it's the beginning of Q2, I'd pretty much like to see what happens over the next couple, days. Same thing here. Right, this is a strong candle. Right, moderate supply is in play, so I don't see any diminishment. I don't see a reason for reversal there, even though on a weekly we do see the diminishment. So it could be time to look for a reaction, but in my opinion, the lower the better. And you guys know I like to play based on POIs, so I didn't make a play here on Thursday or here on Monday, because if we're looking left, right, the final POI was, I believe it was here, yeah. So if we're looking here, I see two POIs. Oops. So there is the Wick 1. Right, Wick 1 incited bullish move that took structure, where we came back and didn't mitigate the point. Right, so this is liquidity there. Right, unmitigated point 1, unmitigated point 2. Okay, so if I'm looking at these POIs, there is still a potential here, but this would probably be an H1 POI, and I'm only trying to play based on higher time frames. Right, so there's still a possibility that there's something in this wick here, even potentially this wick, right? But I don't want to confuse myself, and I want to continue direction. So if I'm looking at POI number 1, right, POI number 1 did not react. It took it out, meaning this could be an unsustainable move over time, right? Not to mention, how do I always do that? All right. Don't know what key that is. All right, whatever. Anyways, right, if we're looking at order flow, structure, right, I'm looking at high, low, retracement. F12 key. Oh yeah, it is. Cool. High, low retracement. And keep in mind there is a standout wick there if we're trying to continue order flow. Right, mitigated. Right, push up, continues lower. Mitigated, push up, continues lower. Mitigated. So the only realistic spot that I see here is there. Right, and that has reacted. Clean on H4, yeah, it does. Yeah, I just wanted to point it out. Yeah, I know what you're talking about right here. Right, final push up, continuation down, mitigation in play. Right, and we actually gave a reaction here. Right now, my only issue with wanting to take a position here on Friday was, obviously, this is your point of validation there. Right, and as I was looking at this, right, see the peak in volume, peak in bullish volume, as we're coming into the range. So, as you can see, the higher that we continue, the lower the demand is. So I was seeing this, right, buying climax, potential upthrust, right, even though no SOW, no clear SOW, right, you do see a very deep retracement equal low here, and we see one final move to the upside, which is essentially a UTAD test, right? So as I was looking at this, right, as session started, I believe right here, 7, yeah. As session started, I was trying to make a play based on the UTAD test. Let me see over here. Right, so I saw the clear break in structure there, as you can see, right? And I saw the continuation here, right, as we were playing high, low, right? But I didn't want to consider this to be bottomed out until I saw a quote-unquote liquidity grab to the upside or a structure break to the upside. So when this bottomed out, which was here, right, not here, it bottomed out here because we have the continuation here, and up until here we actually take out that wick here. So to me, this is now the solidified low based on this high. So the only way I'm gonna play here is if the bottoming out after it's taken out the initial level of structure, if that reaches a POI. So as soon as that melted, right, I'm just like, you know what, I'm not interested. It's whatever, you know, it's Good Friday. And not to mention that, as we came into M5, right before that news event, I believe, we saw this very bullish closure, signifying rejection to the downside. I mean to the upside, I'm sorry. Rejection toward the upside. So as soon as I saw that, it's very uninteresting now because this could have been a mitigation based on M15 wick. Where is it? Where is it? Right here. Right, so as I saw the mitigation come back up and reject, now in my opinion, this could have been a target because obviously our momentum is still to the upside, and this could have been a quote-unquote pullback. So after that, I just became uninterested, and as you can see, price is very messy afterwards. So even though technically bearish order flow is still intact there, this is very unattractive. So it's gonna be interesting to see how we play based on this long wick from news. But yeah, there's clear inefficiency there, right? Could be liquidity here, clear inefficiency, who knows? But structure is technically still to the upside, even though we've shown momentum to the downside. But momentum could be either converting here, but the bullish point of validation could be there. Right, so I'm just interested to see, for one, how we open, and two, if we react up here. Right, if we continue lower, then we could be mitigating something, and we could continue higher. So it's interesting. I want to see how we play London. But let's see, other than that, I know EG wanted to give some type of reversal, but it's just like I said, you don't want to buy this. It doesn't make sense. Right, the original structure rules. Yeah, I want to see a strong reaction somewhere. You know, like, I promise you people are seeing this as buying climax, secondary test, spring, LPS. Promise you. But you cannot assume that because no structural point has been taken out, meaning no sign of optimism has been shown. Yeah, EU, same thing. Let me see, yeah. The last intraday leg. Where do you want to see that? Yeah, I know there is no schem there, but there's a ton of people who can't read schematics, and that's typically what they would see. Right? Wyckoff is seen, like in the niche, it's really seen or compared to the law of three instead of an actual schematic. If you notice that. It's why I've shown you guys the schematic 3 and 4 in the Discord, but I don't use them. I don't think they're true schematics. I think they're subjective. Exactly. So you don't want to confuse a schematic with the law of three. Because they're two very different things. But the thing is, I haven't studied the law of three. Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, I was right here too. If you guys remember, I was right here, but I still didn't want to take a position just because we took out the POI, right? That we said, right, that even though we had to push up here, I didn't see these lows sustaining themselves. Why? Because there's inefficiency here. Yeah, as you can see, filled inefficiency and then skyrocketed. So very good intraday play. 70 pips, yeah. It's just, it's so hard to, in my opinion, the hardest part for a lot of people is acknowledging is instead of acknowledging that, you acknowledge this as the preliminary structure break, signifying, well, high, low retracement. Hence why these types of trades are so much more consistent. Right? Inefficiency here, which is where it topped, where your point of invalidation is this high because this is where the momentum started. So as you can see, these trades are more sustainable, right? Because you have a target one being these lows, right? And you could take a hedge position because you also acknowledge, because you had the preliminary structure break, it could be a reversal. So you're covered with a pro-trend position, and you're also covered with a hedge position based on H1 inefficiency, point of invalidation here. Right, so bigger stops unless you play lower time frame, but you're covered. But yeah, let's see. GU. Looks like it still wants to come lower. Yeah, as you can see, this was an unmitigated point that was taken out. So maybe unsustainable move, turbulence point, continuation. The only reason I'm leaning towards this is because of this. Right, this reacted. Was it a monthly? Well, yeah, you could see the monthly wick there, but I believe it was a weekly too. Yeah, weekly wick. Ooh, excuse me. These closures, though. Interesting to see. If we cannot take out there, right, we could interpret this, right, in two different ways. Because this was already mitigated, this could be seen as a disruption, and you could see the continuation. Or you could see it overall turbulence point, high, low, retracement, lower. The only reason why scenario 1 could work bullish closure, I don't teach this anymore though, but a cool rule with closures is usually if I'm looking for a bullish reversal, I'm looking for a bullish closure with my higher time frames. Like you see, for example, this closure was bearish, just like EU's is still bearish. Hence why I still think it's not ready to go. Right? So if we were to have a closure like here, and we saw that on EU, then I'm more lenient towards bullishness. But I do like how we have bearish closure, diminishment. I think that's something to note because low, high retracement, liquidity. But yeah, anyways, do you guys have any questions? I know you're messing with me, bro. I haven't touched this, as you can see. This is actually one of the scenarios from the course. That's on UTAD. Good rejection, but still bearish. You cannot aim for this without any break. Like as you can see, bearish order flow is still in play. This is messy though. Yeah, it still looks bearish to me. It could be. I just don't like seeing this. Right, no new high. I mean, no substantial new low, I'm sorry. Right, obviously the bearish order flow is in play. Right, you can see inefficiency there. Break a structure, right? Brand new leg, right? Take out preliminary level of structure, solidified low, high, retracement, target cleared, liquidity is taken, liquidity grab because we didn't make a sustainable new high, a sustainable new low. So if we take this out, then you could see higher movement. And we've seen something like this before. I know I've seen something like that before. This. I'm trying to remember where that is. Damn. This one mooned. I didn't think Raj should have held this. Raj would be up another 500 pips. That's crazy. Yeah, we've seen it happen before where we see a flag not sustain itself. I think you guys remember about this. I think we talked about this. No, that was more recent than that. Was it here? I think you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I know you don't focus much on Wyckoff. How do I not focus much on Wyckoff? What is Wyckoff? What is Wyckoff? Supply and demand based logic? No, that's too broad. Wyckoff is a study of trading ranges through the form of effort, volume, structure. Right, so you say I'm not Wyckoff oriented, but I'm collaborating, or I'm essentially using volume plus structure to make sense out of a movement, and that's when SCs and inefficiencies come into play, when Wicks come into play, after we've acknowledged volume and structure. So to say we aren't, to say that I'm not Wyckoff oriented is false off the bat, right? Just because you don't trade schematics on a regular basis does not mean you're not Wyckoff oriented. Wyckoff is not solely the study of schematics. It's a study of trading ranges, and it's the study of price via effort, volume, structure. Because if you notice, smart money concepts, like what actually is smart money concepts? If that's what you're trying to imply. Exactly. So if it's all based on Wyckoff principles, then how can you say I don't focus much on Wyckoff? So you see how that's false and how that's kind of, I guess, confusing you? And maybe that could add some clarity to what you're not seeing. I'll only ever play a schematic if it's complete, but I'll play inside of a schematic if I see those order flow disruptions and obviously the breaks of structure, the initial breaks of structure, and if it fits overall narrative. Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, even if you misworded it, that just means that your interpretation is not there. So if you're wanting more tips when identifying a true scam, I think I would say first you got to understand if you're actually looking at real scams to begin with, if you can understand what a scam is and what it essentially implies, right? Which would be, that would be more so cause and effect, which would be a schematic is the cause and the effect is the result. So if you're trying to identify a true scam, then you're looking at a horizontal range that fits the purpose of the bias that you're portraying. Right, so it all begins with the question that you ask, and if the question that you ask does not make sense, then I think the issue would be more so with you understanding the material than not necessarily me giving you an answer, if that makes sense. And have you read that book that I showed you guys, that Methodology 2.0? It's a really good book. Might be a bit different compared to what we show you, but I think it's a good foundation. But yeah, does anybody have any questions? Any questions? You coming to the UK in the summer? I don't know. Like, bro, here in the US, I probably can't even travel inside of the US because I don't have a vaccine. Like, they're trying to start that. So, like, if they start that, I'm fucked. Like, I'm not gonna, yeah. It's ridiculous. So, who knows if it'll be passed, but I don't really want to risk that. No, I'm not taking that vaccine. What the hell? I don't need to take the vaccine. Like, COVID hit me for 1 day. I need to check if I built antibodies, though. But I mean, either way, here in Texas, COVID died, bro. It's unexistent now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay somebody for that, though. But yeah, here in like let's look this up. Like, let's see, Texas, COVID cases. Right. How coincidental, right after the inauguration, went from 20 cases a day to now less than 5,000, 2,000. Right after inauguration. What about deaths? It went from January being about 400 deaths reported per day to now it's below 100 almost. Yeah, bro, everybody I know caught COVID. Like 85% of my friends they caught COVID. Family members caught COVID. It hit people harder, but you know, hit certain people harder. Yeah, definitely the vaccine is much more risky. Yeah, definitely. I just don't like really talking about that because it's not like something I've researched 100%. But it's just like I can't take that risk on my body, you know? I'm not going to. Oh, really? When did your mom take the vaccine? My mom took it a couple days ago. She's been feeling fine. And I mean, and the thing is too is like something that pisses me off. Like, let's actually look this up. What does the... Wow, that's weird. This actually just read my fucking mind. That's weird. Right, this is something people know. Oh, actually, before we get to this, What do you guys know what the vaccine does to begin with? My grandparents took it. My mom took it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, bro. It also depends on which vaccine you take. Yeah, bro. I don't want to get into it, but there's so many people just like around me that just have the view that you have to take a vaccine. Yeah, the point of the vaccine is that so that if you catch COVID, you build antibodies. That it forces your body to build antibodies. It doesn't make you immune. It just makes it to where if you catch COVID, then your ability to make those antibodies so that you don't get it again, um, is accelerated pretty much. Exactly. CC. Just looking into this. A fragment of the mRNA that encodes and push. Yeah, see? A fragment of the mRNA, which is a certain portion of the spike protein inside of the virus. I mean, you can read it here. Help our bodies develop immunity to the virus, right? That causes COVID-19. So, keywords: helps our bodies develop immunity. Keywords. Doesn't mean it provides immunity. It develops immunity once you catch it. So I think that's like obviously a misconception that people don't get. So yeah, bro. This country is already going to shit in my opinion. Yeah, I guess that could be a side effect if she got sick next day. Divide and conquer agenda. Exactly, bro. Like we're going to get fucked this year. This next year. Well, this year. Right? I think there is a Wall Street Journal. Ooh. Is it this one? There's an article saying that we're gonna pay like the most taxes that we've paid in like 40 years, and I'm just like, oh my god. Hmm. If you don't wear a mask, you're literally not allowed outside. Even if you can't wear one for health reasons, you'll catch a fine. It's crazy. Yeah, bro. Yeah. You have to pay tax on everything here, bro. Everything. Doesn't matter what you do, you're getting taxed. But like the thing is like the people that get tax returns, they don't give a fuck about this. They're just gonna get a lower tax return. Yeah, and gas is on the way up too. Gas is pretty much at $3 here for premium. I'm gonna find this article though. Let me text this guy. Hmm. Let me see. Do you still have that article? I don't think you pay tax in the UK for Forex, bro. Talk to Curtis about that. Or Curtis can just talk about it. I don't think he's on the call, though. Like, for example, I think Curtis likes to be on FTMO because it doesn't count as taxable income. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. I'll tell him to talk about it. I'll text him after the call. Oh, really? I guess it just depends on the type of account that you're using. No, UK, bro. US is completely different. Yeah, you guys get... Yeah. That sounds about right. Sounds about right. Like, I mean, even with... I think it is with LTDs in the UK, I think you pay, like, automatically 20% or something like that. Like, no matter what. I think it's, like, 20% at least. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Time to get that visa. And there's national insurance and income tax. Oh, yeah. I think all of that stuff is already included with us here in the US. Pretty much. Yeah. But anyways, with the website, right, you know how I said something would have to go really wrong for us to not have the videos up by Saturday? So I underestimated what we would need to do to upload all the videos. Like, instead of now it being straight from Sprout to the website, it's now from our video host to an API to... I think it's called an API, then to the website. So it's like a much more complicated process. But I think we'll be uploading everything today. I didn't even know trading existed. Put me at a... The thing is, you can't compare yourself to anybody in the group, bro. You just can't do that. It's unfair to yourself. Yeah, right around there. I'm surprised you don't have an accountant in the group yet. Oh yeah, also, let's see. I didn't really understand what your question said. Like, I don't get what you're asking me, but all I noticed was you're at a disadvantage because other people are years in. I'm just like, that's unfair to yourself. But you can't put yourself in that situation because now you're putting pressure, unnecessary pressure onto yourself. Like there's people in the group that catch more trades than me a week, you know, just because it's a different model, different trading plan, but that's okay. I'm not going to compare myself to them. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. When it clicks, it clicks. Like it took this guy Harris like a year and a half, you know what I'm saying? And that's with like a year of experience. But then there's people like, I don't know exactly how much experience Falco had before, but Falco in a couple months, you know, came up with his own model that made sense. Yeah, and like you see like even Chris, you know what I'm saying? It's different. Okay, bro, who cares? Stop picking on Harris? No. But Usman, who cares, bro? Like why are you in such a rush? You understand trading isn't meant to be a full-time thing? You understand trading is meant to be a side thing? So why are you putting so much pressure on yourself? Like all you're doing is building a hole of sorrow. Yeah, but nobody believes in day trading just because if you're looking at the entire picture in terms of finance, right? Day trading is only like a small piece of the puzzle if you really do your research. And if you notice, a lot of a lot of big boys in the institutional side actually started off as day traders. So like when somebody tries to knock what we do, I'm just like, mind your own business, dog. Like, the fuck? I don't feel sad for them. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And I'm not always, and like, I'm not saying, like, I'm also not trying to say that day trading is meant for everybody, you know? Like, what's a career path that people choose that's not necessarily conventional and it's not necessarily something a lot of people believe in outside of day trading? For me, another career path that's like very like looked down upon is like the art industry. Even music, yeah, music. Yeah, any type of yeah, exactly. Creative endeavor. There you go. Even though you spelled endeavor wrong. Yeah, I mean anything art because art is subjective to obviously what you see, what you like, what you've seen. So it's like who cares? Like the fuck them. Harris, I'm about to kick you out, dog. Oh yeah, but anyways, um, I haven't made this open to you guys just yet, but pretty much this is all the new security stuff. I agree. I agree. But yeah, I haven't made this open for members yet, but we will soon. Probably when we're done uploading everything. Yeah. I don't know much on that industry, but it's just like any other industry. There's so many people these days. Every industry is saturated. So you just got to stand out in some way. Everything is saturated. There's not that many ideas out there that, I mean, obviously there are, but not many people create their own niche and create their own wave. People just stand out in a wave that everybody's already in, and that's how you find that cut. Kind of like this group. I mean, there's so many trading groups, but people still join this one, you know? We may not have the biggest community, but we have a very loyal and committed community, and that's what matters. Because it builds morality, and in the long run, that's beneficial. What'd you say? Yeah, so let's see. We did our call. We talked about security. We talked about the videos. I don't know if Sergio wants to talk about the NFT.
Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
Damn, bro. What the... Can
Oh,
you
am I
not?
too
Joe,
loud or
chill
what?
out. Yeah, chill out. All right, go ahead.
All right, let me show my screen though. Yeah, so I talked about this before.
How do I make it to where you can share?
No, I can share, bro.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, my question right last time was what's an NFT, and a lot of people, a majority of them, didn't know. And I know some people already know, just because I mentioned that in the what's it called, the mindset call. I forgot which one, but anyways, NFT, right, an non-fungible token, and it's funny because you were talking about art, right, and how like it's, I guess, underrated, or it's looked down upon, right, and so um, and then we recently, pretty much announced that we're coming out with the NFT, right, and a lot of people, there's many different ways you can look at this, either as a collector, right, that collects art, and or as a investor in a way, right? Because when it comes to NFTs, you can also resell them for a higher profit margin, if that makes sense, right? It's pretty much digital art, right? And so as you can see, let's see, NFT Saturday Night Live. Let's check this out, right? So for the people, well, I don't know if you guys know Saturday Night, like SNL, right? But they're pretty big, and they're coming out, they're coming out with their own NFT. As you can see here, it's wild. Like the top bid, right? 22 Ethereum, right? You can see here like the whole bid process, right? So 46,000 for just this, right? And um, it just shows you, like, again, they're coming out with, this is like, I'm pretty sure this is the first one, and again, like, and it depends, right? How long this is going to increase in value. But again, the reason why it's this valuable is because, again, right, the brand behind SNL. And then going back to another example is, I know a lot of you guys follow that Visualize Value Instagram page that Fredo, like, he
Put
always like reposted.
put everybody on.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, so that guy, um, he sold his first NFT as well, and sold for like 60K. And again, right, I'm pretty sure that person that sold it, I mean, that person that got it, sees it as a, first, I mean, as a collectible, because they like his brand, and then second, right, that NFT, right, in 5 years, 4 years, whatever, it could double in value, right, and then he can actually, that person, whoever it was that bought it, can actually resell that digital art. Does that make sense? What's actually driving the price?
The love of the brand. The love for the brand.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's no metric, bro. That's the thing too. Right now, this is also new.
And it's not
That
regulated.
Yeah, it's so new that there's no like metric or rule that pretty much drives the value of it. Does that make sense?
And something that like I didn't understand until recently is that I think there's more millionaires off of Bitcoin than like people don't
I did see that.
people don't like understand. Like it's something that I'm still trying to understand. There is so much money, people that just have stuck in Bitcoin, stuck in Ethereum, right? And they can't withdraw it because then they're gonna get taxed up the ass. So there's
Yeah,
so
for
many
somebody.
whales in
Yeah,
in this space that just want to buy stupid stuff or buy stuff that they like, you know?
yeah, I think I heard that there's more people like with $100 million in like a Bitcoin wallet
Yeah,
than like
then
$100 million in a bank account.
yeah, which is fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah, and so let's see, what is the risk involved? I mean, there's not really a risk. I mean, oh, the only risk is if you buy, um, if like let's explore, right? The only risk, this is where you wanna like be careful, right? Let's say you buy an NFT that's like not really like the artist doesn't have a brand, right? And you buy it thinking that it's gonna go up,
But it goes to
and then
shit.
they just drop in value,
Hmm.
right? Like that's the only like I guess risk.
But I mean, the
But
thing
besides
is,
that, I mean,
yeah, a lot
what's
of
up?
NFTs go down in value though.
Exactly, yeah. And that's why you know again you wanna look at the for like if you want to invest in some, right, you want to look at the artist and see if they have a community, see, you know, it's pretty much see their brand. Um, and of course, right, that's the reason why, like for example, that visualized value. I think he recently like released a couple NFTs, like more.
Oh, and he's making
And
bank.
what's up?
He's making bank.
Well, yeah, yeah, but like I'm saying, like that they all varied in price,
Hmm.
right? Just because of the bids. Um,
Yeah, open bid. You started off at like 1 Ethereum.
mhm. Where Harris said, where would you recommend to buy NFTs? Well, I mean, bro, like there's many different places, but OpenSea, right? So we're gonna release our NFT on OpenSea and Rarible, right? These are the two platforms that we're gonna release our NFT, and it is kind of like not difficult, but it's a little bit
Tedious.
tricky to make an account because you have to have a wallet first, right? And you have to buy the Ethereum, right? And have that in your wallet. Then you have to have a MetaMask, which is like a Google extension, and then transfer that to that MetaMask, and then that's where you can actually buy NFT. Um,
This is mainly for the public though. It's not necessarily something for the members, kind of, unless you want to support the brand.
no, yeah, yeah, but this is also interesting, just long term,
Oh yeah, it's a good risk.
because
It's a good RR.
this is like the future, like
Yeah.
just like just like you guys, um, just like a verified badge on an Instagram account, right? The reason why the I'm pretty sure the visualized value Instagram account is verified, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, so that badge, right, is like a symbol that shows that okay, that like that's an official account, and again, that badge is crazy that that digital badge, right, on Instagram has like created opportunities for people, and not only that, also protect their brand from other fake accounts, right? And so that again, that just shows that's a little small thing that shows the power of just digital,
Blockchain,
um,
blockchain.
yeah, pretty much for social media, yeah. And that's why we're all moving into this like world of just digital.
ETH is gonna blow up in the near future, like no doubt.
Yeah, Ethereum is more transactional than
And
Bitcoin,
Bitcoin, XRP.
just because of the contracts. Like later on, like there's gonna people are gonna be able to buy houses off of Seller, and without without the banks, without the middleman, without all the like paperwork. It's just a buyer and seller with the Ethereum contract, right?
Hit that link that Chris just sent.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Is this or yeah, right or no?
One Ethereum 2000. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's meant for the public though. So, do you want to tell them the incentive that we have for the public?
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for the public. And I don't know if you want to have an incentive for the community.
I just don't know what an incentive would be for the community.
Yeah.
And I don't want to.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So for the public, I mean, we'll be like, since the NFT is gonna start at like half of Ethereum. We'll be just choosing one person for the
You're wording that so wrong, bro. Let me say it. So there's 25 coins, right? There's 25 coins. Each one costs half an Ethereum, and there's people that are gonna buy from the public, right? And we're gonna talk to the people that actually buy the coin, and we want to bring somebody on. So indirectly, you can get paid to join if you buy the NFT and then you sell it. There's 25 coins that cost half an Ethereum, and essentially, which is what, about $1,000, right? 1,000.
Yeah.
So, out of the people that buy, we want to talk to them, and the best person that we see fit for the community, we're gonna bring them on. And they could always sell it. So the thing is, there's 25 coins, but it's not going to be up forever. It's probably going to be up for like a week. So,
or they just might sell out. So.
Or they could just sell out. But the thing is it's not only people in the public that they're competing with. They're competing with our close friends that are going to buy one, and they're competing with you guys if you guys want to buy one. So even though there's 25 coins, there's not 25 slots. So we want somebody who buys an NFT to bring them on.
Yeah, and then going back to the investment part, right? Like, you see RCV.
Not a giveaway, because you're buying the NFT.
Yeah, it's not a giveaway just because, again, like you're again, I see it as an investment. Why? Because RCV now, right? Like it's a new brand, right? And then imagine like in 5-10 years, whatever, like how the brand is, because we'll be closing the mentorship, but the content will still be poured out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And I think that's when the NFTs are gonna blow up. No more admissions once we close it. Yeah.
Once we close it, yeah.
Which will probably, it could be like next summer or something like that. Yeah, probably like a year.
Pretty much, yeah, so pretty much the only thing out there is like the content from like, Instagram, Twitter, all that, and the NFTs. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on where my career goes from there. And I also only want to teach while I like it. If I start not liking this, I'm not going to want to do it anymore. But that isn't something you guys should worry about. It's a year away, Yeah, and then that's when we can start even discussing more things. More businesses, more ventures, more stuff in the finance side. And it'll be closed off to the public, so if you're not in, fuck off. RCV fund? No way. Hell no. I don't think you understand. Like the term fund is so used, like it's used so casually, but it's like, do you actually know what it takes to open a fund? You need so many licenses, regulations, unless you go the shady way, which is where, you know, that's where Astro went, that's where everybody else went. And they do everything from offshore entities. So you don't need those licenses, and it's pretty much like a hack. But it's, a lot of those are seen as scams, just like Astro is. Yeah, I mean, I don't expect to have like more than 500 people. Just close it off today? No. If I do that, I'll kick you out. All right, do it.
Nah, but yeah, like if Harris, like for everybody in the call, if Harris could, like, you know, if they click for him, then anybody can do it.
No way. Harris, I'll close the group when you make 100K off trading.
Yeah, bro, I got some eggs for you, bro. Come to the States.
This mic is sick though. Did you guys hear any barking in the background? That's cool. Yeah, I made it to where you can't hear like the background. Yeah, the Yeti is dope. It's the blue Yeti. Went to Target this morning and they only had the black one, which was perfect because it fits the desk. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that though. Yeah, I was thinking about that, but it's just like I literally just had to go and in and out real quick from Target because it was like 10 a.m. Imagine Spaces, who's that? Oh, oh yeah, he'll definitely make an NFT soon. The cool thing is like you can take the NFT in like so many directions. Yeah, Big Cloud is interesting too, and that's like very new. I don't even know how it works. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so new. It's like the thing is you want to find something that's unique even in this space, and that's how you blow up. Because you're doing something different in an industry that's just coming up, you know. I think it's cool though. I don't think like our NFT, I don't know if it'll sell out, but I mean, all I care about is getting somebody in. I want to meet somebody who's worth investing time into because you're essentially getting a discount. Yeah, that's called, I don't even know what that's called, bro. It's super interesting. You can look at the same things for 6 months, but it'll click the next day, you know? Let's see. Because I think we've talked about that on Discord. Let's see. Ricardo said this a long time ago. Read this. But yeah, if you read this, it makes a lot of sense. And we've been saying this, like, that's from September of last year, you know? But not many people see it. Like, you gotta understand that before you even tackle wanting to achieve it. All right, cool. So I think that pretty much wraps everything up. Yeah, like people sleep on this. Like there's so much free value in the pinned messages, and it only adds on as time goes on. Yeah, some people are just built different, and that's fine. But yeah, can you end it off here? Cool, yeah, I think we ended off here. I think we covered everything.